Live life louder.
Fia Moon, welcome back to iRadio.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's so good to be back.
And congratulations, your new single is our I Love Irish track of the week, Let This Go. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you like it. To have this come out, it's one of my favorite songs. It's definitely, again, a very, very personal one, but a slightly different, more kind of obvious topic, I guess. Well, not obvious topic, but it's in that theme. And for me, it was quite a self-soothing song. I wrote it last summer again, around a similar time to when I wrote Better Days. And it's a funny story because I actually don't even remember the day I wrote it. I've completely blanked, and it's a really strange one.
How did that happen?
I don't know. It's one of the only times that's ever happened to me. And I went into a studio with my friend Neve, who I co-wrote it with, and we kind of we were only in the studio for a few hours and we vibed it out, and then I left and I was like, I don't really think we got much there, and I went home and then kind of moved on. And then a few days later, a couple of weeks later actually, a mutual friend of ours, Lewis, who ended up doing ad production on it, messaged me and was like, oh my God, this track that you did with Neve, I love it. It's so great. I've actually done a little bit to it here. Like, I want you to see what do you think? And he sent it back to me and I completely forgot about the song. And he sent it to me and I was like, wow, I can't, like, first of all, I was like, what am I talking about? Like, it was kind of obviously such a subconscious outpouring of how I was feeling. And it was almost like I was listening to the song back as a listener rather than having written it myself. It was very strange. And yeah, it was just very strange because, like, those vocals that are in the song, it was one take of doing it. They were just the demo vocals, so it's quite special for me to be able to keep them and to use them, because I think they kind of portray the emotion a lot.
Yeah, I guess given that it was just that one time, you don't even remember it, it's even more authentic in that regard. How is it to be able, because you clearly are such a good songwriter, to be able to express your emotions, which maybe other people can't because they don't write, it's not their thing. How therapeutic is it to be able to express your emotions through songs like that, and whatever it is you are going through at the time?
I mean, it's very therapeutic, and for me, it was never a conscious decision to be like, I'm going to sit down and write a song and channel it this way. And I wish in a way that I had the capacity to do that, because it's a bit unpredictable with me. Sometimes it will flow and other times it won't. And Let This Go is kind of a case in point with that, because it's like, that's obviously how I was feeling that day. And it was, but I wasn't necessarily so aware of it. And it's something that I'm learning to do, is to kind of be more conscious of my thought process and my songwriting, and figure out what I want to write, rather than just kind of, last year I would kind of go into sessions and I wouldn't prepare, and I still don't really do this, to be honest, but it kind of works the best for me. I never ever prepare anything. I go in and I literally just sing whatever I feel, and honestly half the time it's just nonsense, it doesn't make any sense. But the other times, you know, Let This Go comes out, or Better Days comes out, or XX, which are the 3 songs that I've released, and all of the songs that I've done, I've kind of written and put down in the space of a few hours, because beyond that point I get frustrated. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. It doesn't feel right. And that's what's the main thing for me, is like, it has to feel right, and it has to feel very natural and authentic. And if it doesn't, and I have to force it, I just kind of stop and I walk away.
So with the music then, this is number 3 of 6. Am I right in saying that, from this mixtape?
Number 3.
Okay. So when,
yes, yeah.
When will we see the debut mixtape? I love the fact you're even calling it a mixtape. That's quite retro for people of my generation. Do you remember mixtapes?
What is? I mean, no, I don't. I'm not, like, to be honest, I think it, you know what, the reason we decided on calling it a mixtape was because it's a bit longer than it's an EP, I guess, because it's not an album. But we just liked the sound of calling it a mixtape. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. And as the songs come out, they all kind of tell a different story. Like Better Days was very much kind of the most vulnerable song, really, and quite more so personal, and rather not really about another person. It was more kind of where I was and at that time, and wanting and hoping, and I guess deep down knowing that there would be better days. And XX was very kind of like, the lyrics are like, I know you still want me, and they're quite sassy and a bit more kind of empowering. And then Let This Go is kind of that stage of almost grieving when you go through a relationship kind of breakdown or different things in your life that don't work out. And it's that point of realization where it's kind of like, you just have to let it go and accept it. And it's that acceptance piece, and knowing that, you know, everything in life, nothing is permanent, everything kind of in time will work out and be okay. And then the next 3 singles kind of build on that journey. And the last one is kind of the my favorite one, which is the most kind of upbeat and uplifting, and just kind of feel good one, because it kind of takes you to that point where you should have been on all along. And it's like, well, you know, it's life, and it kind of goes on, and that will be out we're aiming for the end of February, early March 2021. I would love to have like a launch party and do it all properly and gig and stuff like that. And that was the plan.
Fingers crossed.
But we'll see.
Still keeping crossed.
Fingers crossed.
You gotta live in
hope.
hope.
My toes are crossed. Like everything is crossed for that.
Can you cross your toes? I can't do that.
I can't. No, I can't.
You'd be on Britain's Got Talent or something if you could. Okay, and I love the fact that it's kind of like, it harks back to the concept albums of old as well. So we have a narrative and a story to this, and it looks like it has a happy ending when we get to track 6.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we look forward to it. I'm intrigued now to hear the rest of them. But for now, it's all about Let This Go. It is our iRadio, I Love Irish track of the week. Fia, lovely to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Fia.
Here we go.
Music, lifestyle,
entertainment,
news, sports.
iRadio. Live life louder.